Welcome. In this segment of A66 Declassified, I'm going to walk you through how to use Socrative, a great free web app that allows you to quickly solicit feedback from students. Let's go ahead and get started. First off, to access Socrative, open up a web browser and go to Socrative.com. That's Socrative.com. Now, once you're there, you'll notice along the top it has a student login, a teacher login, or teacher sign up. If you've never used Socrative before, you do need to create an account, but the account is free. Go ahead and click on teacher sign up. It'll ask you to register an email address and a password, and that's it. Once you create an account, then you can sign in. Now, I've already created an account, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And once you've signed in, this is the screen that you're presented with. Now, as a teacher, you have a number of options using Socrative with your class. You can go ahead and send out multiple choice questions. You can ask true-false questions, or you can send out short answer questions that your students can respond with. Now, one question a lot of people have is, do students need to have an iPad or an iPhone or some kind of device to use Socrative? And the answer is no. Socrative works with anything that has access to the internet. So students can use Socrative with their laptop computers, they can use it with any school-owned iPads, they can use it with their own Android phones or iPhones or their own iPads. Basically anything with a web browser, students can use to access this great service. Other options of Socrative include creating quizzes. This is really helpful if you want to have just quick quizzes during class. You can populate it with as many questions as you want, both true, false, multiple choice, and short answer questions. And then students can take these quizzes either at their own pace, or the teacher can manage it and send out one question at a time to the class. The nice thing about this is students don't even have to be present in order to take the quiz. Students could be sitting at home and you can activate the quiz and they can take it from there. They could be in different places of the building and they could all be taking these quizzes at their own pace or at the same time. Another aspect of Socrative that I found to be very helpful is exit tickets. You can send out an exit ticket using Socrative, in which it requires students to type in their name. They'll go through and answer a couple questions about what did they learn today, and then you can pose some overall questions for them to check for understanding before they leave for the day. Socrative is great because it takes all of their responses and emails it in a spreadsheet for you, so you have access to look at that data later. Well, let's go ahead and just take a look at what it looks like from the student side. And I have gone ahead and I've opened up an account here as a student. And for students, if they're using a web browser, they just go to m.socrative.com and it takes them to this screen. If they're using an iPad or an iPhone or an Android device, there are dedicated apps that Socrative has created that they can download. Now in this case, I've made a sample class, and the room number that you would ask students to join is the room number that's displayed on the teacher screen here. In this case, VV. I'm going to type in VV, and from the student's point of view, they're just going to sit here and wait until a teacher asks them for an activity. So let me flip back over to what it would look like for a teacher. And let's say I'm going to use this as a replacement for a clicker, and I have a quick hinge question that I'm going to ask my class. And this hinge question is going to be just a quick true-false question to see if they understand what I'm asking. So I'm going to click true-false for the teacher. And this is going to tell me, okay, go ahead and ask away. And then I would ask my class. Students now, when they log in, they see this. They'll see, okay, I'm joined in the room, and to choose an answer, true or false. And so in this case, I'm just going to select true. And if I go back over to my teacher side, I can see the number of votes, 1 of 1, and I can see that that one student has chosen true. This would work for any kind of number of students in your class. You can go ahead and it'll keep track in real time what they vote. When I click End Activity, it'll take me back to the page. That same process works if I send out multiple choice questions. If I hop back over to my student, I'll see in a minute here it will update with a multiple choice, and any questions that maybe I have in a PowerPoint that I'm demonstrating, maybe I write some answers on the board, the students can vote, and in this case I'll vote there, and I can see here if I look back at my results, now I had 2 people in my room, one person voted for C, the other for E. This allows you to create some really interesting choose your own adventure type activities, as well as use it for check for understanding. The last little bit I want to demonstrate is how to use an exit ticket in Socrative. In another segment we'll talk about how to make a quiz, but for now let's just look at exit tickets. I click exit ticket, and then from the teacher side I can wait and I can see that I have 2 students in my room and nobody has completed an exit ticket yet. So let me switch over to the student view, and in the student view it says please enter your name, last name, comma first. So I'll type in Smith, comma John. I'll hit submit, and then it gives me 3 questions here. It'll say how well did you understand today's material? I totally got it. What did you learn today? I learned about Socrative. And then it'll say, please solve the problem on the board. This is great because you can ask a dedicated question that's specifically tied to the lesson that you've given, and you can ask the students to answer it for you. So I can say, the answer to life's greatest question is 42. Then I'll click finish, and it will save. Now if I go back to my teacher's view, in a second here it'll update. It'll indicate that 1 out of the 2 people have completed that quiz. I will click end activity, and then it'll give me the option of emailing or downloading the report or no report. I'm going to go ahead and click download that report, and when I open it up it'll be a Microsoft Excel file, and once it loads here we'll be able to see what kind of data the teacher can get from it. Alright, so if we take a look here, I can see I got a neat spreadsheet that has the names of the students, the answer that they selected for how well did they understand it. We can see what did they learn today, and everything that they type will be there. Please solve the problem on the board, and it'll give me the answer to that. And then I can see here that for each student that I have, they will get 1 row. And that allows me to very quickly and very easily see what my students are understanding and where I might need to go back and to reteach. So that's Socrative, a free web service that allows you to quickly and easily solicit feedback from your students. Thank you. With the implementation of the Web Help Desk, the process for creating a Blackboard request has changed. I'm going to walk you through the new way to make a request for Blackboard. All of the information I'm going to discuss is located on the Area 66 webpage. If you go to the webpage, area66.westside66.org, under the Tutorials tab, go down to Blackboard, and it'll say Creating a Blackboard Request using the Web Help Desk. This page will walk you through how to create a web request. The short version of how to create a web request is that all new requests will be done over email as opposed to using a weblog. You will need to use your first class email in order to create an account. If I open up my first class and I create a new message, my first step is I'm going to address that new message to Blackboard Help. If I start typing in Blackboard, I can look and I can see Blackboard Help is one of the options. That's what I'm going to select. In the subject line, you're going to put a brief statement about your request. For example, please enroll French 5 or disable access to English 8. In this case, I'm going to say, please enroll U.S. History Semester 2. Now, in the main body of the email, this is where you're going to need to put all the relevant information. The more detailed you are and the more complete your information, the more time it'll save by eliminating follow-up emails, and that'll allow the request to be completed quicker. There are 4 required elements that you need to put in here, and they're listed on the Blackboard help site. Those are the request type, and I have some examples here of request types. It could be enroll the whole class and delete the previous students, enroll the whole class and keep previously enrolled students, and you can see some of the other ones that are there. The second required one is the name of the class, and that's going to be the PowerSchool name and the PowerSchool number. And so, for example, that might be U.S. History Semester 2, 1926. Now, you can find that information by going to the Class Content tab on the Power Teacher Gradebook application. The third required bit of information is the Blackboard course name. This is the name that shows up under the My Classes list when you log into Blackboard, and it might be different than the actual class name. And the last bit of information is any detailed information or anything that would be helpful, such as please don't enroll until January 15th, or please enroll all students for all teachers in this class. So what does that look like? Well, if I'm creating an email, I might go enroll the whole class and delete old students, class, U.S. History, Semester 2, 1926. I'll go Blackboard course name, and then my option here, I might give some extra info like please enroll all U.S. history students for all teachers. That lets me know that this is a team taught class, and I need to not just look for students that have Matt Lee as a teacher, but also have any other U.S. history teacher. That's it. I'll go ahead and I'll hit send, and then it'll spell check it, and so you'll fix your spelling, and then that'll submit a request to the web help desk. You'll also see when you get that back, you'll get an email here that says your request has been submitted, and it'll say the request detail. It'll say who reported it, the tech that it's been assigned to, and then the status that says open. And then that'll get updated once I get the request fulfilled, and you'll get another email once it's been completed. So once again, if you have any questions about the new method of creating a request in Blackboard, simply go to the Area 66 webpage, go to Tutorials, select Blackboard, and you'll be able to download a PDF that you can save or reference the web version here of things required to submit a Blackboard request. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. You can email me, Matt Lee, on First Class. Thank you.